Okay, this is your WordPress blog. Each one of you has 4 or 5 people in your group, and you all have an address called Interpreting China 1 or 2 or 3, depending on your group, .wordpress.com. So it's linked on the Ning. Once you get there, you need to log in. If you've had trouble creating an account, you just got to come see me. It'll take 2 minutes to fix. So notice this login link right here. Log in, right? That's where you sign in. So click it. It will take you to the login page. You'll have set a username and password already. Mine remembers it. Bookmark it on your computer. Click login. And then you get to your dashboard. Notice you can collapse all of the little things on your dashboard if you want, and expand. Posts or articles. So add new. You want to write a post. Now, I don't like having all this clutter on the side when I'm just trying to write, so you can collapse this left sidebar by just clicking on that little arrow. Open it, expand it, collapse it, right? It gives you more room. Furthermore, you can then, with this Add New Post, you can click this button to give a full screen post window. Okay, so it's just like typing on Word now. All right, so I want you to notice this, because this gives more formatting options. Indent, text color, underline, and paragraph or different formatting styles. Headings are really good for organization for a longer piece. It keeps the reader looking because you give like title sections or section titles. So play around with headings, but paragraph is your standard thing. All right, I'm going to pause it and I'm going to find something to write about. For you to write about China, first you need to be reading about stuff that you're interested in about China, and that's why I want you to set up an RSS reader. If you have a Gmail account, that's the smartest thing, because this reader right here, that's your online magazine or newspaper. I get daily updated articles from all over the web in my inbox here on my Google Reader about China, because I've subscribed to them. I've given you some subscriptions. China Digital Times is a great place to start. They scan the web for any articles about China. So this is all their new content. It's just like an email inbox, right? So these are new articles from their website. So I'm going to skim through here. Okay, Taiwan and China. China is selling arms to Taiwan, and the U.S. is selling arms to Taiwan, and also supporting the Dalai Lama in Tibet. So China's really pissed off over that. So that might be worth writing about. So I'm going to click on that to see what they have to say. This is how I stay informed. I know more about China than most people because I don't need the newspaper. I have my own customized one. So this China Digital Times is great because, again, they take content from all over the web and they share snippets of it with you. So here's an AP article, the Associated Press, and Obama has announced that he's going to meet the Dalai Lama, and also the U.S. is selling massive arms to Taiwan. So I'm reading, there's likely to be more turbulence ahead. Cyber spying, the Chinese hacking of Google, all that. So diplomacy between the U.S. and China is heating up. It's breaking down. And Beijing is feeling more confident now, so it's standing up to the U.S. because it knows that economically it's in better shape than the U.S. And that it holds so much of the U.S. foreign currency reserves. So China is starting to push back on the U.S. Really, that's some pretty historical stuff. So, say that you want to write about I don't know, just this line. Okay, so I just copied that, and now I'm going to go to my WordPress. All right. Pretend that I have something to say here, because obviously I'm doing this just to show you how to write a post. So, what did I copy? All right. The U.S. is pushing China to be tougher on Iran. So I'm going to say something insightful like, it's ironic. I'm going to pause this so that you don't have to watch me type. Okay, so you can see that I wrote, it's ironic that that the U.S. is pushing China to get tough on Iran over its nuclear program. So that's sort of my key idea. I promise to tell you why I think it's ironic. And China's pushing back, as we read in this recent AP article. Now pay attention. Whenever you quote something online, you use block quotes. And the way to do that is to put your cursor on the section that is a quote, and then click the little quote thing right there. All right, you'll see how that formats it later. So that's how I quote. All right, I just undid the quote, so I go back to me. Now let me see what I want to say about that, about irony. So pause. Okay, so you can see that I just wrote this little bit, a couple of paragraphs, very short, talking about the irony, and proofread real quick. Notice that WordPress does give you a spell checker underlined in red, so that's where it'll tell you that things are misspelled, so maybe geopolitics is one word. Okay, now it's not underlined, so yeah, okay, geopolitics is one word. Alright, so there it is. I'm done. I would like to add a picture, but I'll save that for the next post. Now I want to give it a title, so I'm going to click out of the full screen so I can give it a title. Something like that. Not a great title, but I don't have time. And finally, tags. I'll talk to you about tags. Oh, I forgot there's one last thing I want to do. Whoa. I just edited this, so if there's any little confusion, it's because I rewound because I found something that I needed to do. I want to link because I talked about this AP article, so I want to link to it so readers can follow and read more. So there's the AP report. Very simple. Right-click and copy link location, and then highlight and click the link. All right, and then paste and insert. So now you got your link. That's how to link. Whenever you write something that you read online, readers expect you to link. Okay, and so do I. Again, remember, in your future, this could be a very valuable thing. All right, I know some of you don't get it right now, but this is a skill that goes beyond a Chinese class. All right, so now you click publish, and you're ready to go. You've got it says view post, or I can just click on the title of the post, which you will change to something more interesting than my blog's blog, and there it is. Okay, so there's the author's name. Get out of there. There's the author's name, there's my link, there's how the block quote looks, the quote, when you click that little quote thing. And there it is. We'll talk about categories and tags later, but that's enough for now, okay? That's how to blog, real simply. I want you to start. And again, remember, I want you to make a Google Reader account because that's how you become smarter than everybody else, because you've got all of this news that you're interested in. I've got the Wall Street Journal on China. All of those things to subscribe to are in your Ning. We'll go over that in class. All right, that's it. Ask me if you have questions. Thanks. Happy blogging.